Yeah.
I wonder why we're sitting in chairs. We've always sat here and then just got up.
I don't need one.
How come we're sitting in chairs? Do you know? We've always just sat, in the pews.
You can if you want to. It's up to you. I mean,
Who else is on the bema tonight? Just you? Oh, you're not on the bema. That's right. You're a Jew in the pew tonight. Who's conducting the service?
Sebastian.
Oh, that's right. Where is he?
He's here.
Is he here?
Yeah. Yes.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Their onyx have been really good lately. I wonder if they're doing birthdays this month.
Pardon?
I wonder if they're going to do birthdays and anniversaries like they usually do.
You mean like with the old-time religion?
Give me that old time. If the rabbi's watching us, that would make him. He's really talented.
It was good for the Hebrew children. It was good for the
Good, thank you. Okay.
Whoever's officiating is going to say some sort of welcome before we start playing. That's because they were showing up late.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
I'd like to begin with a poem. When I am amongst the trees, especially the willows and the honey locust, equally the beech and the oaks and the pines, they give off such hints of gladness. I would almost say that they save me, and daily. Excuse me. I am so distant from the hope of myself, in which I have goodness and discernment, and never hurry through the world, but walk slowly and bow often. Around me the trees stir in the leaves, and they call out, "Stay a while." The light flows from their branches, and they call again, "It's simple," they say, "and you too have come into this world to do this, to go easily, to be filled with light, and to shine." We turn now to our Shabbat pamphlet, and we begin in song together with our kosher cowpokes.
May our temple doors be open wide to all who are hungry for us. May we welcome all seekers of truth inside, those searching for light from above. May the doors of our temple be open to all. Baruchim Habayim. May we always heed the call. our temple hold a beautiful light for all who enter. A sanctuary from all hatred and strife, with doors and hearts open to a more meaningful life. May our temple's doors be open wide to all who are hungry for love. May we welcome all seekers of truth inside, those searching for light from above. May the doors of our temple be open to all. Baruchim Habayim. May we always heed the call.
We continue on page 3, and I invite everyone who is able to please rise. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be amongst those who kindle light. I welcome forward Susie Novick to light Shabbos candles for us.
May the glow of these candles bring peace to the world, and the spirit of Shekinah surround us. May the blessings of our days fill our hearts with love. And Shabbat Shalom be Baruch
Please be seated. We continue on page 7. Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the tasks accomplished. Will I ever be able to banish the memories of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free from the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat abide. Together, help me to withdraw for a while from the flight of time, constrain the retreat of the hours and the days from the grasp of frantic life. Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into a quiet world on this day. This day, Shabbat abide. We continue on the next page, page 8. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics and no service, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created, to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us, and to bring that vision to life. We turn to the next page, page 10. The sun on the treetops no longer is seen. Come, gather to welcome the Shabbat, our Queen. Behold her descending, the holy, the blessed, and with the angels of peace and of rest. Draw near, and here abide. Draw near, O Shabbat bride. Peace also to you, you angels of peace. Friday night services begin with the part of service called Kabbalat Shabbat. The first part of this service consists of prayers written with words written from the Psalms and medieval poetry. A group of mystics called Kabbalists living in Sfat in the 16th century created Kabbalat Shabbat. They would speak of Shabbat as both a bride and a queen. Right before sunset, these rabbis would dress in white and declare, "Come, let us go out to greet the Shabbos queen." The poem Lahadodi, which we continue to this day, continues with the imagery of a wedding. During the last verse, we rise together to face the entrance and bow to the left and to the right as we greet the Shabbat bride. We turn to page 20 together, and we will sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And for verse 9, we will rise together and bow. Please be seated. I continue off script, I apologize. A traditional piyut of the Kabbalah Shabbat service is the prayer Ana B'Koach. It's an enigmatic prayer said to conceal the mystical formula for spiritual renewal within its plea for divine aid. We listen to its words and we prepare to ascend from the mundane of the world to the spark of Shabbat. Ana B'Koach Gidula Yeminecha Tatir Tzura. Please release those in captivity, Almighty One, whose power sets us free. Kabel Rinat Amcha Sagvenu Tahrenu Nora. Accept the cries of your people who praise and glorify you alone. Preserve those who seek your unity. Guard them like the pupil of the eye. Bless and purify them. Always guard them. You who is compassionate and righteous, tremendous Holy One of blessing, in your abundant goodness, lead your community. Unique One, exalted One, face your tribe who remembers you always, your holiness. Receive our prayers, hear our cries, you knower of the hidden secrets. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Ba'ed. Blessed be God's glorious majesty forever and ever. If you are able to rise, please do so as we continue on page 28 for the call to prayer. There is one who sings the song of his own life, finding everything within himself. There is one who leaves the circle of herself and sings the song of her people. There is one whose voice rings out with the song of humanity, hoping for the highest perfection. And there is one who rises even higher, uniting all creatures with all worlds, fulfilling the universe with song, Nevarech, let's bless. We turn to page 31. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and seasons glide. Your breath guides the sails of the stars, creator of the tides of time and light. You guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'ma'orim ha'eruvim. On page 35, we read responsively from the middle of the page. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. Then this holiest of your works and the living language that gives its form. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. We continue on page 34 with the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Please be seated.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom alavecha v'shintam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha Uvleftecha, Vaderek, Ushakbaha, Uvkumecha, Ukshartamod, Al Yadecha, Vehayu Letotafot, Beinenecha, Utavtam, Al Mezuzot, Beitecha, Uvisharecha. Leman tiskeru, vasitem, et kol mitzvotai, v'yitem kedoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, lihyot lachem le'elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
On the facing page, the second footnote. When people come to you for help, do not turn them off with pious words saying, "Have faith and take your troubles to God." Act instead as if there was no God, as though there were only one person in the world who could help, only yourself. We turn to page 342 and we sing Miriam's song.
One which sang our history. With every strand and every thread she crafted her delight. Women touched with spirit, she dances toward the light.
And Miriam stood upon the shores and gazed across the sea. The wonder of this miracle she soon came to believe. Whoever thought the sea would part with an outstretched hand, and we would march to freedom and march to the promised land. Dancing with their timbrels, all the Miriam as she sang her song, sing a them and followed her, just as she had planned. And Miriam raised her voice and song, she sang with praise and might. We've just lived through a miracle, we're going to dance tonight. And there were women dancing with their timbrels, followed Miriam as she sang the song. Sing a song to one who we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced all night long.
We turn back in our Sidurim to page 40. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nidar ba'kodesh, norata hilot osefele. Who is like you, O God, among the gods that are worshipped? Who is like you, majestic in holiness, awesome in splendor, working wonders? Your children witnessed your sovereignty, the sea splitting before Moses and Miriam. This is our God, they cried. Adonai will reign forever and ever. Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. We continue on page 42 with Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'ha'amidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukkot shalom lecha, ufros aleinu sukkot shalom lecha. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. Amen. Amen.
On page 45, we are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. More than the Jewish people have kept Shabbat, Shabbat has kept the Jewish people. If you are able to rise, we continue on page 46 with the Amidah.
Let my Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu, Vimotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Hasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Hasei Avot V'ima'ot, U'mehi Gula Livnei Bneihem, Leman Shemo V'achava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei HaKol Me'atah V'Hoshia, Morid HaTal, Mechakel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechayei HaKol Be'rachamim Rabim, Tomech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memid, Umechaye, Umatmia Yeshua, V'ne'emar Talach Chayot HaKol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechayei HaKol. Atah Kadosh v'Shimcha Kadosh, U'Toshim b'chol yom halu Aselach, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
We continue on page 57 with Song, Ever-Present One.
Ever-present one, may we, your people, Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our praise. Ever-present one, may we, your people, Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our praise. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion, restored in our lands, you are our God whom alone we serve. In reverence, Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu, Melech Yisrael, be worthy tefillah Yehova Te'aber. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu, Melech Yisrael, be worthy tefillah Yehova Te'aber. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion, restored in our lands, you are our God whom alone we serve. In reverence, Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu, Melech Yisrael, be worthy in our deeds and our prayers. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu, Melech Yisrael, be worthy in our deeds and our prayers.
We continue with silent prayer through page 63, or with the words in your heart. We continue on page 62. At this time, we think of those in our community who are in need of healing, friends, family, everyone that has passed by your way. At this time, we invite you to say those names aloud. If there's somebody in particular that you're thinking of,
Barbara Gordon, Marianne McCravey.
to these names, we add Linda Smith and Barbara Apt. We continue with the Misha Barak prayer on page 253. At this point, we'd like to welcome Stuart Schwartz up to share a few words of inspirational text.
Thank you very much. Shabbat Shalom. Before we begin our inspirational text, we're only 4 weeks away from starting at the very beginning, a great place to start as we start Genesis and getting to the end of the Torah. But tonight we have the Torah portion, Ki Tavo. And we're quickly coming, as I said, to the end of Deuteronomy, only 4 parsha after this week. This week, we read from Deuteronomy 26, Ki Tavo, when you enter. In this Torah portion, Moses instructs the Israelites what to do upon crossing the Jordan and entering the Promised Land, the land that God is giving them as a heritage to possess and settle. He instructs the Israelites that when they enter, they shall take every first fruit of the soil from the Promised Land and take it to the priest in charge and say to him, I acknowledge this day before the eternal your God, that I have entered the land that the eternal swore to our fathers to assign us. He reminds them of the importance of tithing. Moses tells them that the Promised Land will be full of milk and honey, but don't forget where you came from. He commands that the Israelites recite the story of the Exodus. And he quotes, My father was a wandering Aramaean who went down to Egypt with meager numbers and sojourned there. But there became a great and populous nation, and the Egyptians dealt harshly with us, oppressed us. They imposed heavy labor upon us. We cried out to the eternal God of our ancestors, and the eternal heard our plea and saw our plight, our misery, our oppression. The eternal freed us from Egypt by a mighty hand, bringing us to this place and giving us the land, a land flowing with milk and honey. Moses then lists the blessings that people will enjoy if they keep God's commandments and the punishments, the calamities, the curses that they will suffer for disobeying or disregarding them. These are curses and consequences that you definitely do not want to experience, including re-experiencing the plagues they escaped from in Egypt. So this story that we tell of being slaves in Egypt, escaping oppression and finding redemption, is a story that we cannot forget. It's a story that the Torah repeats no less than 14 times. Why do we have to remember? Because it reminds us to be both humble and sympathetic and responsive to those who are suffering today. But it's not a story we retell as history, but rather as memory. As we read in the Haggadah, it is because of what the Almighty did for me when I left Egypt. Rabbi Jonathan Sacks explains the fundamental difference between history and memory. History, he tells us, is his story, an account of events that happened sometime else to someone else. Memory is my story. It is the past internalized and made part of our own personal identity. In Ki Tavo, Moses is warning the Israelites never to forget. If they forget the past, they will lose their identity and sense of direction. Disaster will follow. Moreover, not only are the people commanded to remember, they are also commanded to hand that memory on to their children. We all share this story, this memory. We have no choice. What God did for us by leading us out of Egypt into the Promised Land is the core of who we are as a people. What God did for us does not denote privilege, but rather responsibility and obligation. Let us always remember that but for the bravery, conviction, and fortitude of those who wandered 40 years in the desert, we would not be here today, experiencing our special relationship with God and making a difference each and every day to improve the world and those that inhabit it. Shabbat Shalom.
Is anybody celebrating birthdays or anniversaries this month? Absolutely. What is it? Sorry? 71 years old. Happy birthday. Anybody else? 76? September 6th, yes. Mazel tov.
Vladi Krinovich, on September 11, I'll be 71.
Wow, mazel tov. Oh, okay. Any anniversaries this month?
How many years?
Wow, mazel tov. Wow. Well, mazel tov, everyone. Congratulations. If you are able to stand, I would like to share a blessing with all of you. If you are unable, that is also okay. Misha Barak Avotenu Vimotenu, O God who blessed our ancestors, Abraham and Sarah and Hagar, and who bestows miraculous thing on those who are open to blessings. May you, God, send your insight and love to those who celebrate birthdays, anniversaries, and exciting items in their lives. O source of all who revealed the Torah to all people, to your people, let us be open to witnessing your ways in your lives. We bless you, O God, who guides our journeys, and let us say amen. Together we turn now back in our Sidurim to page 4 and prepare for the blessing of the Kiddush cup. Please rise.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei b'riah ha'ofen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratav banu, v'shabach ha'shem yahavahu ratzon inhilanu, zikaron l'ma'aseh bereshit, ki hu yom tefillah l'mikra'ei kodesh, zeher l'tzion Yisrael, ki vanu bohata v'tonu kidashta mikol amim. V'shabbat kodshecha v'yavama ratzon ki imraltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh Hashem. Amen.
We remain standing and turn to page 282 for Aleinu.
Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, latei gedula leotzer reshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem,
Please be seated. On page 291, there are stars up above, so far away we only see their light, long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we've loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. On the 30 days since their passing, we think of Victor Zane Hollowell, Louis David Weinstein, and Cora Robertson. On the anniversary of their passing, which, here we go, we also think of these names. If I call it the name of a loved one, please rise. Maurice Don Blogren, Paul I. Borshaw, Nanny Bell Schumacher Bryant, Rick Fuel, Mary V. Friedman, Esther L. Given, L. H. Goldstein, Sheldon Gopin, Libby Hoffman, Rudy Kahn, Charles Knipp, Edmund H. Crone, Benjamin Lagner, Harold Laskin, Arthur Lawrence, Marilyn Leeser, Sol L. Levy, Helen Migdal, Harry Nagler, Bernard Otis, Jack Post, Meyer Riegler, William N. Rosen, Joe H. Rosenwasser, I apologize, Moses Schuckner, Jean Lapowski Schechter, Leon Scheidlauer, Etta Zimmerman Solnick, Clyde Warren Stevens Jr., Joseph Mayer Strelitz, and Sue Ann Weinstein. If there are any additional names to add or correct, please feel free to do so. At this time, we welcome Vlada Krenovich to lead us in. Sorry? Yes. Vladek will lead us in Mourner's Kaddish. If we rise together as one congregation for those who don't have anyone to rise in their name.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועלמא דברה חירותי ועלמיך מלכותי, בחיי חון וביום חון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתחלל שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעלמה מן כל בחירתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלום רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן.
Zikrona Rahav, may their memories be for blessing. Please be seated.
Shalom.
welcome Vladek back to share announcements.
Well, Shabbat Shalom to everybody. And I just want to start by saying that this is kind of, I feel in very good spirit. Because in Russia, September 1st was the first day of school. So little kids, nicely dressed, very happy, would go everywhere. And today when I saw a lot of kids before the services, I had exactly the same feeling. These are our future. And they're so cute, they're so nice. They are kind of still, even if they misbehave sometimes, it's some minor things. And let's hope and pray that this peace and friendship and everything will survive, and they will be the new generation of future who will be free of bad feelings and who will really enjoy life. Thank you very much. So, a lot of thanks, of course. Thank you very much to Naomi, who was greeting us over there. Then past people who were sitting here on the bima, former president, past president Keith Myers, prayer leader, of course, Sebastian, who led us very great service. And you know, there is a saying that you need to leave for so long that people will think that we miss you, but not for so long that people will realize that you can be replaced. So the rabbi is coming back soon, so don't worry. Okay. Then we, of course, through the wonderful music, to the kosher cowpokes, and to Lee, Laura, and Violet, who were singing beautifully. And even though the acoustics here is not so good, we could still hear the beautiful singing. So hopefully the acoustics will be better. But I think everybody else will enjoy it much better than we did. Then we thank to Stuart Schwartz for the Devar Torah. It was very interesting and very inspiring. So please, and thank of course, the Showery family for baking the challahs. Thank you very much. So Shabbat sponsors, Bonnie Colton in the memory of Saul Levy, Scott and Bonnie Stevens in the memory of Clyde Stevens and Marilyn Neezer, Bruce and Shelley Gopin in memory of Sheldon Gopin, Susie and Eddie Coldman in the honor of Becky Myers, and Lynn Cron in the memory of Ed Cron. And there is something I didn't write, but it's a very appropriate phrase. If we have forgotten to thank you, blame our heads and not our hearts. So Torah study will be on Saturday at 9:30 in the boardroom. All are welcome to participate. And tomorrow, Torah study leader will be Stuart Schwartz. So you had a sample of how well he teaches Torah, so everybody is encouraged to come. There will be no religious school or choir practice on Sunday. Labor Day Monday, the office will be closed, September 4th. And there are several other things. Selichot reception and service will be on Saturdays, September 9th at 7:30. High Holiday Appeal and Book of Memory. Hopefully everybody got the form in the mail. So please send in your forms or call the office. The deadline is Wednesday, September 6th. And there is a lot of Zoom and login information in the weekly Temple email, as well as additional information about the many upcoming events. So thank you very much, and good Shabbos to everybody.
We conclude our service on page 353 with Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. If you're able to rise, please do so. Thank you.
Oh, Yavod Shalom Aleinu. Oh, Yavod Shalom Aleinu. Oh, Yavod Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Oh, Yavod Shalom Aleinu. Oh, Yavod Shalom Aleinu.
kind of want them to keep going. We will have Kiddush and Motzi down the hall. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom. I had a big brain.